evening, and thank you for tuning in to a week with the West Garfield Park Youth Council, who is an affiliate, or should I say, a leading example of what can happen when the West Garfield Park community stakeholders come together to empower our babies. Yes, the West Garfield Park Youth Council, this is unfortunately their last show for the season, and I have been drafted to do the show in their stead. But before I move so far, I want you to know that West Garfield Park Youth Council and the West Garfield Park Community Stakeholders all work collaboratively with the Fathers Who Care and other groups on the west side of Chicago to do whatever we can to empower our young folks. Our young folks told us quite simply, if it's not about us, you can't use us, all right? Nothing about us without us. That's what they said, Angel. They say don't talk about nothing we're doing or what young folks doing if you don't talk to young people. So with that being said, I yield and sit back and let the young folks educate me on what young folks are thinking. I'm wise enough to know that.
That's good stuff.
All right. So listen. Okay, but as you know, we're watching the West Garfield Park Youth Council tonight, and this is their last show for the season, but they told me to inform you, and they gave me an opportunity. Thank you, young folks. Venetia, Zaria, Omari, Kiana, and Robert, and all y'all, you know, all them names. All them young people, all right? Anyway, they told me to tell you all to tune in to next week when they're going to allow me to have a show myself next week. Same time, same station. So tune in next week to Fathers Who Care and yours truly, your servant leader, who will be doing the show. But tonight is all about the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And of course, as they told me to tell you that their theme for December is nothing about us without us. That's young people talking. Well, as you know, the West Garfield Park Youth Council is a group of young people located on the west side of Chicago whose primary mission and focus is to reduce underage drinking, substance abuse, and senseless violence on the west side. These young folks have been actively involved in engaging, enlightening, and empower other young people on how they best can work together while promoting a safe and drug-free community. We believe that if you really want to make a difference in the life of young folk, invest in young folk. It's impossible for us old heads, mature heads, to sit around and talk about what young folks think when we don't listen to young folk. So you and I have been working together in this endeavor to do what we've been doing to try to empower young folks, and we're going to introduce, of course, our guest, Angel, in a minute. But our objectives here are rather simple when it comes to these young people. One, to reduce the sale of alcohol and investigations of alcohol. You know, we're talking about shoulder tapping. We want to stop having to do so many because we know folks are violating the law and creating these deleterious impact sites. But we want to reduce the sale of alcohol and other substances to our young people on the west side, north side, and south side of Chicago, in the city of Chicago, and engage other ways on how we can reduce underage drinking, substance abuse, and violence on our cities, in our communities. Also, how we can build and strengthen a community system of young people working together to learn how to love and support each other. That's right, I said it. I said the love word. I really believe if we love each other, we wouldn't hurt each other. If we love each other, we wouldn't hurt each other. If we love each other, we wouldn't hurt each other, right? You don't hurt what you love.
Right.
So we believe if you really love somebody, you respect them and you support them. But anyway, the young folks believe we are the change that we want in our community, and we are the change we need to see in our community. So this evening we have a special guest, and I'm really excited about it. I mean, personally, and I'm glad they gave me an opportunity to interview. I've been knowing Angel for a few years now, and I want to say this openly, that I respect what you do. I respect the passion that you have in the Latino community. I respect the fact that you'll go all over the country to learn everything you need to learn. And I'm out there with you, so I know what I'm talking about, all right? I mean, I'm in Washington with you. I'm over here with you. I'm over here with you. I mean, you know, we all over the place doing stuff, learning stuff. And everywhere we go, you're learning information on how to prevent, educate, and empower the Latino community. And I want to say keep up the good work, because the work you're doing is valuable work that you're doing, and you may not get the thank yous, but I want you to know I appreciate you, and keep up the good work. So our guest this evening would be, of course, you just heard him, our brother here, Brother Angel Romain. He's a Christian brother, a community leader, an activist for social change, He currently works as project director at the Recon Family Services and the project coordinator or director of the Avondale DFC Coalition. DFC means Drug Free Coalition. So first, I'd like to say thank you again, and I want to I know this is the first time we've had an opportunity to come on this side of town and collaborate, but tonight we really want to talk about how can we, are y'all listening? How can we bridge the cultural and geographical gaps in promoting a safe and drug-free community? Now I work with the African American community and some Latinos on the west side. And for whatever reason, there seems to be this divide with the Latino community with some folks. Not me, but with some folks, because I'm personally, I'm open to communicating. I'm open to bonding. So it's a transition for me. But some folks have a problem with dealing with other folks from different culture. I don't quite understand that. So tonight we want to talk about how can we bridge this cultural gap, i.e. African American and Latino, and the geographical gaps. North side, south side, west side. I mean, when we all facing some of the same issues in promoting a safe and drug-free community. We're looking at, 780 shootings, killings? About 1,400 shootings, about 780 killings. That's heavy. Which, okay, it ain't normal. How about that? So tonight, Angel, we want to have you to relax. We want you to tell us who you are, what you do, why you do it, and what can we expect from the work that you're doing at the Avondale Coalition, and what can we expect to happen in the near future as we go forward to do what we can to empower each other. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So, Angel, again, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I know you have a heart for it.
Yeah.
I know you have a passion for it, and that's why, I was instructed, and they said I can do a show.
Right.
They told me I can do a show.
Yeah.
It's the first one they let me do.
Wow,
they told me
nice.
I can do a show,
Yeah.
and they said, but you have to pick a guest.
Yes.
So I've called on you, literally.
Thank you.
Because I have been, I've been asking for a while, and so I was hoping that it would come, and you agreed. So I thank you for that. But I want to ask you a question, and this question is rather personal, if you don't mind. I want to know, who is Angel Roman?
All right.
And what is your purpose for existing? Now, I mean, I know what you do in your profession, but who are you personally?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Reverend Jones, I really want to thank you for this opportunity of allowing me to be here with you. Thank you. This is an amazing door where we're able to, communicate with each other, kind of like answer some questions, and just have a great time at the show, I want to thank all the audience that's out there maybe tuning us in and just watching this channel at this moment.
Absolutely. Call in.
Yeah, absolutely. And we thank you for, taking this moment. I know, we all have busy schedules, but maybe you took a little moment in your time and you said, you know what, I'm going to stop surfing, channel surfing. I'm just going to stop for a moment. I'm going to listen to what these two gentlemen have to say.
Absolutely.
And so Angel Roman, when I think of Angel Roman, I think of a father of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 children, 2 young men, adults, and I have 2 smaller ones. My smallest is only 2 years old, yet my oldest is 24. So it's like starting again.
Yeah.
Is really, really fun, to be honest, because I feel like that grandpa that's bringing a son up,
Absolutely.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I got an incredible wife. Her name is Ruth Roman. And so I was born and raised here in the city of Chicago, the Humboldt Park neighborhood. I'm from a Puerto Rican family. My stepdad that stepped in to raise me up is Mexican. So, it allowed me to kind of like have a little bit of diversity.
So you really have the Latin flavor for real.
Yes,
Is that okay
absolutely.
To say that?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm with you there.
Let's check it. But listen,
So,
you got a caller already,
yeah.
and so hold that thought.
Okay,
We're going to
great.
entertain this caller, and look, the call lines are now open.
All right,
The
awesome.
lines are now open, 312-738-1060. Our guest this evening is none other than the project director of Avondale Coalition and Recon Family Services, Angel Romaine. The phone lines are open. Call it your comment and question. Thank you for calling.
Yes, Mr. Romaine and the young gentleman next to you.
You, sir.
I want to say this. There's 2 reasons, and believe me, this is what's going on. There's a wall between Hispanics and blacks only because the South has us fighting for jobs. But they just the Chinese are going to build a building, and then there's another going to be built. Not one black construction company, not one Hispanic construction company is going to work for them. Okay, and the second one about I'm sorry. That's why we're far apart from each other, and we shouldn't be. Because believe me, brother, I grew up on them crazy streets too, just like you guys. And the second one is about all the shooting deaths here, Chicago. Guess what? The new superintendent has it right, but guess what? The city has it wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. The more they arrest these guys, the more they let them out. So you can't arrest somebody 5 times and he gets out in a year or two. So it's tough here in Chicago, but I grew up here all my life. A glad server in the United States Army in Vietnam, and I'm ready anytime I come.
Ask you a question, if you don't mind. Thank you for your statements, comments. Do you have a question for Angel, though? Would you like to say something to him?
Well, I said, Angel, he's Hispanic, and for a while when I was a young kid, there was a kind of a little bit of war between Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. But now that's getting solved because you know why? We almost have the same kind of culture, the same kind of eating and stuff, so we have to stick closer together. That's
so much for your comment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And he was speaking. He was letting us know basically that we have so many similarities.
Yeah.
But that we can bridge these gaps. I think he said something about some of the issues that we share, issues when it comes to employment and jobs and violence.
Yeah.
And I think we share that same sentiment.
Absolutely.
Do you want to comment on anything that he was saying?
Well, I think absolutely. We come from communities that we're underserved. We have a lot of issues. It starts sometimes within the four walls of our homes. Sometimes the struggles that are real. They're real. They're in the family, and then when your family is stressed out, you tend to be stressed out. Like for example, me growing up, I didn't have that father figure. I had a stepdad. That was more attentive to his immediate children than to the stepchildren, So, you grow up with that anger, dad ain't around, so that absence of of your dad sometimes influences in a lot of behaviors because you're so upset. But you're really upset at what's going on in the four walls,
Absolutely.
When you have so many issues, so many struggles, when the light is off and you're out there thinking about the light when you're just a kid, when you should try to be out there having fun and maybe playing and going out with your friends, you're actually thinking about all the issues that your family has, So it becomes a burden. And sometimes as young people, it's real hard for you to be able to process that and bring that, together and kind of like get the support that you need, in a moment like that. So, I understand where he's coming from, where he's calling the issues that we have. Absolutely,
Okay.
I lived that struggle right at home,
Okay, thank you, sir, and thank you, Angel. Hey, listen, the phone lines are open. The number here is 312-738-1060, and the topic tonight is how to bridge the cultural and geographical gaps in promoting a safe and drug-free community. Now, we want to take this a little bit deeper than just the average conversation as we're talking about violence in general. We know violence exists. We see it every day. It exists, all right? But we're talking specifically about some other issues in relationship to mental health, trauma, crisis intervention, what's our causes or contributors or triggers to violence and or substance abuse, and is substance abuse a mental health issue? So we really want to take what we're talking about to another level as opposed to just rambling off with some stuff. Yes. We really want to go into some scientific, strategic kind of plans and hopefully create a logic model or action plan that we can strategically come together to implement in our community. If it's working in your community, maybe we can tweak up some little stuff and bring it over in this community. That's what we're talking about. So we're really talking about what we can do collectively in the Latino community and the African American community to bridge real gaps. and to bring about real social and environmental change. Now, some folks may run around here and just run off with some thoughts of here, and that's good. We have moments for that too, the second Monday of every month. Right. You can come on by the office. We have meetings every month, and those are vent sessions where you can come and vent, and you can have those moments, all right? But what we really want to do, as far as what we're talking about now, is talk about how can we, in both communities, bridge the gap, because we both are hurting and our babies are dying. So the call again, the lines are open. The number here is 312-738-1060. Okay, so I got a question here for you. I want to know, as we talk about getting more folks actively involved in the community, I believe when more people care, more things change. I just believe that. I just believe when folks are actively involved in the community and they stand up for what they stand up for, and they stand up for what's right, things change. It changed back then and it'll change now. But when you sit on your morals and you don't do nothing, then you expect nothing, then nothing happens. It's just simple. So I want to know, tell our audience, what can we do collectively in the African American community and the Latino community together to bring about change in our community?
Well, I think we're starting it right here. As we're speaking about this, as we're on TV, you know, I think that right there alone,
that's right,
in itself is
that's
saying,
right.
hey, look, you know, we want to do something about this. You know, we just don't want to be talking about it. We need to come together. We need to meet. You know, we need to really focus on what's going on in our communities and see the similarities, like you have mentioned, and you know, see what are your strengths in supporting our community, and what are our strengths to support yours. You know?
Absolutely.
So I mean, you know, when I think of a coalition, right, and how the different approaches that we take, I think of the 12 sectors. You know, so I mean,
12 sectors.
And these 12 sectors, right? They're crucial, you know, because you have the sector of parents. For example, we need more parent involvement, you know. I mean, I go to the schools sometimes where, you know, is a parents meeting and is a ghost town, you know. I mean, maybe a parent will show up.
So you're saying that maybe we need to get one of our sector partners, i.e. parents, more involved in our sector group. Youth.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know,
which is another sector,
people,
right?
The youth.
Right.
You know, the schools, you know, the business owners, you
right.
know. I mean, everybody in the community is there because they're invested in that community.
Right.
You know, they're there
so
because they love that place.
What if we just call them stakeholders?
Yeah, so they're all stakeholders.
Right.
Is that absolutely,
right.
you know. So is getting these stakeholders to that round table, you know, and starting that conversation, you know. Why, you know, what'll make you come over here, you know? How can I get you to get involved on this side of town? Okay. And how can we get involved, you know?
Absolutely.
And bringing, you know, bringing that unison, you know?
I like
Maybe
that.
going to each other's coalition meetings,
like that.
right?
Absolutely. You know? Which we have.
Yeah,
all right?
yes, sir.
Which we have. I mean, we're not just talking about, I mean, we have done that.
Yeah.
Now, your coalition is located at 13, Milwaukee.
Yeah, we just got a new location. We used to be located at 3710 North Kedzie. Everybody knew this, and we're having meetings there for 6 years. And then we just got a brand new location that in about 3 months we're gonna have a ribbon cutting for it.
So is this Recon building or
this is the Avondale Coalition in conjunction with Rincon Family Services.
Got it.
Because the Avondale Coalition is a separate entity. It is an incorporation.
Okay.
So you know, and so is an incorporation or organization that's affiliated with Rincon Family Services.
Got it. So is the Avondale 501c3?
It's not 501c3. Rincon Family Services are 501c3.
Got it. So you're an affiliate.
Yes, we're completely affiliated with Rincon Family Services.
Got it. So I like that. And you know, I'm saying stuff like this, but I already know.
Yeah.
But I wanted the folks to know that your organization, Recon, started off doing a lot of stuff, and they still do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And Avondale Coalition was birthed out of that group.
Right, absolutely.
Just as Father Sucare birthed the West Garfield Park Youth Council and the West Garfield Park Community Stakeholders.
Yes, Reverend.
And we both are fortunate enough to be national, federal, DFC coalitions in America.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is only about 8 of us.
Yeah, in the city of Chicago.
Period.
Is
out of 526.
Come on.
All right? Let me educate you. Out of 526 coalitions, that might be 10 rural or urban coalitions. And we're 2 of them.
Yeah, we're 2 of them. Yes.
Let's get down.
So we're really fortunate.
You think? Okay, look. So here's what's happening. Now, you know, we've been talking about why should young people become more actively involved in reducing underage drinking, substance abuse, senseless violence in the city of Chicago. Now, one of our missions and your mission has been, and you got some good information there, about alcohol sources, marijuana sources, prescription drugs, and all that other good stuff. So we're really saying to young folks that these things, alcohol, marijuana, not only is it not healthy for you, but it's a trigger for other things.
Yeah.
It's a trigger for violence. It's a trigger for other things happening in the community. Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely.
So why should we advocate for reducing underage drinking and substance abuse in our community? Why should we advocate for that?
Well, I fully believe that we should advocate for it, and just like you were mentioning the question, getting the youth involved in the process, because we can advocate, but sometimes young people after they're in middle school, they're listening more to their peers, to that other young person that's their age, that and listening, they talk to each other a whole lot more. Then and they listen to each other a whole lot more.
Right.
I think if we can recruit that component of young people and really spearhead them and give them the tools and the materials that they need to empower other young people, I think other young people will start listening to them.
So give me a phone number, or give me some dates that you guys meet, where if some folks are interested in meeting in the Latino community and or African American, because you're inclusive of both groups, African American, Latino, and Caucasian. All of them come to your group as they do to mine.
Right.
So we don't have no separations on that. But if someone is interested in becoming part of the Avondale Coalition, and they want to be involved on that side of town, what can they do?
Well, I would say if you work, live, or play in the community of Avondale, we would love for you to come out. For you to come out to our monthly meetings. We have monthly meetings. You could look us up at the AvondaleCoalition.org. That's our website. We also have a phone number that you could call us at 773-796-2269. You can call us there. That's our office number, and just get involved. So our next coalition meeting is going to be on January the 10th. Is going to be at 2:30 to 3:30. We start on time and end on time just because we're respectful of people's time.
So again, that's on the January.
So once again, that's January 10th. Will be our next coalition meeting.
And they can call you at?
And they can call me at 773-796-2269.
And the website?
And the website is AvondaleCoalition.org.
Now we have a few minutes, and so I really want to I'm going to omit some stuff.
Okay.
And kind of shoot from the hip. We was talking about mental health, right?
Yeah.
And we think substance abuse, senseless violence, and other stuff is a public health issue.
Yes.
So, and we need to address it as such. Would you agree?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I think we need to put the emphasis behind crisis intervention, trauma, i.e. mental health, as we do around other triggers.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Or other incidents of violence, because one contributes to the other and impacts the community in the whole. So what I like to know is, are there anything coming up that's new in the Avondale community that we can all join forces with, that we can just bring into the new year, bring into the years to come together?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Well, one of the things we're absolutely, the Rincon Family Services, they have a mental health, program that's up and running in all of our offices. So if you just look at the webpage, RinconFamilyServices.org.
So there are resources available in the Rincon community.
Yes,
I love it.
And there's that stigma behind, mental health issues. But honestly, we all get stressed out. We all get depressed at times, and that can lead to intense depression. So, I would encourage you, if you're struggling with anything, just go ahead and reach out, call someone, get some support, and maybe they might be able to direct you in the right direction.
Well, listen, this thing moves so fast, man, and we was having so much fun, and I love it, and I love you, man, because I know your heart, and I'm cool with that. And I mean it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Listen, you've been watching the West Garfield Park Community Stateholder. Unfortunately, this is the last show for the season. We want to thank you, all those of you who tuned in, those of you who are watching, those who have a passion for empowering the least of us, and we want to encourage you to tune in next week, 7 o'clock, for Fathers Who Care. We want you to get in touch with the Avondale Coalition. The number is 773 796-2269
Yes.
or .org, AvondaleCoalition.org. And listen, call Fathers Who Care. Give us a call. Call the West Garfield Park Community Stakeholders, 773-287-5821. Listen, it's been a stone gas, Mama, that's Don Cornelius back in the day. You know, it's been a stone gas on the train, but we want to give you all adios for this evening. We thank you so much for what you're doing. Love each other, treat each other right, and let the rest of the things be about his things. You know, all is well. Don't sweat the small stuff and the small peoples. God bless you. Good night, and keep the faith. We'll see you on the other side.